Rev up your engines! Now, first of all, realize last year, when Chevy sold like 57,000 of these, Toyota sold 270,000 Tacomas. So, let's just say that Tacomas are more popular. But on the other hand, you can get used Chevy trucks a lot cheaper. She bought this 5-year-old one for $16,000. Try finding a Toyota Tacoma that's in as good shape as this, at least physically wise, for that kind of money. You won't find one. These are easier to get a hold of. So, as we look under the hood, this one's got a V6 engine in it. Being made out 2020, they still had this. Now, they only have 4-cylinder turbos. That's all they put in these things. Which is what I also don't like about the new Tacomas. They only put the 4-cylinder turbos in them. They don't have the V6 option. When this was new, and when that old Tacoma was new, you could get a 4-cylinder or you could get a V6. Now, they both only offer turbo 4s, and I would buy neither. Now, of course, if I had a choice and I had to buy one, I would buy the turbo 4 that Toyota puts out versus the one that GM puts out. GM turbo 4s have a lot more problems than the Toyota engines do by far. But being in the past, 5-year-old vehicle, it's got a V6 engine. These are pretty decent engines. The one problem with these are they often have transmission problems. The engines are strong enough, but the transmissions tend to be weak. And she feels like the transmission's starting to act up. We're going to road test, we're going to analyze everything and see how that goes. Because, let's say you're thinking about buying one of these used. Do not, under any circumstances, go out and just buy it without having a mechanic test it out. Or at least road test it. Okay, you road test it. If the transmission feels a little bit wonky in one of these, just walk away. Now, if you're already owning it's wonky, you're probably going to try to either get rid of it or figure out what's wrong with it. But don't buy somebody else's problem in a used vehicle, especially when it's a GM vehicle. If that tranny is acting weird and you're looking at it used, walk away. That's something you really got to keep in your head. Now, the truck itself looks fine. I noticed it had been in a wreck because I could see how the bolts had been peened over, and she had a Carfax. Somebody pushed them into another car. They seem to have done a pretty good job fixing it. They were rear-ended, so that means the back was whacked too, and they seem to have done a pretty good job fixing the back. We'll check the tailgate. Goes down nice and smooth. We'll look at the gap, the other side. Pretty much the same. They did a good job fixing it, I'll give them that. That's why the bumper's so shiny, because it was replaced. And yes, check it out, people. That is a metal chrome bumper. I like it. For a compact truck. Hey, it's got a decent sized bed. These have the fake leather. And not all that much room in the back, but I mean, this is a compact truck. It's got a nice screen. Start her up. Engine sounds good. Turn the wheel, take a look, and you can see it's got a lot of stuff. You can turn the traction control off, get a towing range. But this is what we're worried about, is the automatic transmission. Now, being a V6, this is either a 6 or an 8-speed. So, Jim's had some problems with that. So, first thing we're going to do is go through my scanner. Check the data out. So we'll plug it in here and we'll stick it on the steering wheel because it's got the cool arm on it. Take the diagnostics, did it already, it's working pretty fast. Chevrolet, standalone diagnosis, read the VIN already. 2019, actually it's between 2019 and 2020. It was made middle of 2019, but they call it 2019. I'd call it 2020, but whatever. Light truck, Chevy Colorado, 3.6 liter, here we go. We'll do a fault scan. While it's doing it, we'll kind of look around. It's in pretty good shape, you know. I mean, it wasn't a wreck, but it seemed to be fixed okay. And we can see there are no trouble codes at all. Well, look at some of the live data for the transmission. Remember, black is good and red is bad. Nothing's black yet. We're going to go through all the data. That's not showing any problem. A lot of information. It's a good thing these computers analyze stuff, because if they didn't, going through this stuff would drive you up a wall. But let's go to the shift data, because we're going to record it while we drive. See if anything looks a little off. Well, we're starting to record stuff. We'll just select everything. Got a decent backup camera. Nice smooth idle. I'll give it that. It's idling really smooth. And we'll take it for a little spin. Then we'll analyze the data. We'll drive it slow. We'll drive it fast. then we'll see if any of the data looks squirrely. So far it feels okay. Now a lot of people don't like these 8-speed transmissions because sometimes they do feel a little bit sloppy, downshifting or upshifting. It had no codes, but I mean, you could be 24% off and it won't trip a code. So realize that. It's only going to trip a code when it's plus or minus 25%. And we humans can feel a lot more than that. So, but so far it seems to shift pretty good. See what happens when you take it on the road. Pretty normal shifting for one of these. Now we're coming to our little drag strip, and as I look around, what we care about is we don't want to get rear-ended. See if there's anyone behind us. Nobody's behind us. So let's give it some gas. Smooth shift, smooth upshift, smooth downshift. I don't feel anything wrong with it. And now let's say we're going to pass. We'll try passing gear. Kicked in, didn't choke. No, this transmission's in good shape. A lot of people just don't like the feel. And in this case, it actually feels quite good. It's not acting up at all, really. We're going to look at the data, see if the shifts are funky or not. When we floor it, it downshifts, doesn't clunk. Then when it upshifts, doesn't clunk. I gotta say, it's in pretty good shape. It's the main thing you worry about these, especially the 8-speeds, but this one seems to be holding up quite well. With the V6 engine, it's got plenty of pickup. That's the thing, that a V6 engine can last. 4-cylinder turbo, theoretically, it can put out even more horsepower, but doesn't feel the same. And guess what? The turbo GM 4-cylinder engines, I've seen lots of them blow up. Look, smooth power, no hesitation, no wacky buzzing engine noises. This is a decent pickup truck. I'm kind of surprised. We come to a stop. The downshifts are so smooth you can't even feel it. It's idling with the AC on. It's idling very smooth. And this thing's got 77,504 miles on it. I'll tell computer chugging away, recording all the data till we get back home, because you never know, it might start acting up on the way home. And it'll give me some weird shifting data. The other side of the airport where there's some twisties, it's actually a decent handling pickup truck. Picking up with a rather tight turn here, and really, I gotta say, it handles quite well. Back home, and it hasn't acted up at all, so I'm gonna look at the data, but I'm sure I'm not gonna see any bad data because the transmission did not act up. It didn't have any shift flares, up or down. It's smooth the whole way. So I'm gonna review, and data's all good. There's no red data, there's nothing wrong. So in reality, this thing is actually in really good shape. Now here's something that I found over the years. Back in the day when they had simple 3-speed automatics, nobody complained. They were pretty basic, right? They went to 4 speeds, people complained a little bit more. When they went to 6 speeds, people started complaining a lot. And when they went to 8 speeds and 10 speeds, they complained like mad. The thing is, the more complex they are, the different that they feel as they age. Plus, modern ones like this, they actually adjust themselves to the way you drive. So if you get somebody who normally drives slow, it sets up to that. Now all of a sudden you start driving fast, it will shift slightly different. It drives people nuts. And conversely, if you drive fast all the time, but then all of a sudden you're stuck and you're driving slow, the transmission knows you're a fast guy, it might slip because it'll shift too fast and go between gears and feel weird. In this case, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I am not a Chevy fan, as everybody knows, but this one as it stands is in excellent shape. If somebody had brought me this vehicle after going through it, I'd say go ahead and buy it, because you're never going to find a Toyota in shape like this is that cheap. Yes, the Toyota will outlast this thing, sure, but money talks. I've seen people pay twice as much for a same Tacoma as she paid for this, and it's still a perfectly fine vehicle for driving around it. Kinda pay your money, you take your choices. At least now you know what kind of a choice you have to make. It's your money, you can do whatever you want with it. I'm just here to give you the facts. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.